So today is day one of no rocking or stimming, which is basically self stimulation. And I've been rocking for 40 years. One time I tried stopping. I went a whole month, but I relapsed and went back to rocking. And over the years, I've been really just trying to run from myself, and I think that's the problem with a lot of people with Aspergers or autism, is that they're trying to self-soothe. They're trying to calm their nerves. They get overstimulated. They get overwhelmed, and I think that's why I started rocking back and forth when I was 8 years old. My dad was overbearing and strict, and maybe I was scared of him, and I was overwhelmed, and I just needed to unwind. So for me, it was just natural to start rocking back and forth like this. And I used to rock back and forth while watching TV with my parents, and then I started rocking with, listening to headphones, listening to music, and I wanted to be a rock and roll drummer. Flunked out of high school because I just loved music so much. I didn't do my homework. But to get to the point of today and not stimming anymore, the first thing that I did, and I'll be real, when I woke up this morning, I was scared. I was like, what the heck am I going to do? Because I was rocking 14 hours a day. I work from home. I only have to work about half an hour to an hour. Sometimes I don't work at all because I create content that stays up online for years. I don't have to work every day and to do internet marketing. So I literally rock from the time I get up till the time I go to bed. My back's sore, my butt's sore, and my knees are sore, and I'm isolating, So today I was like, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit still right when I get up. This is January 1st, so it's a new year, great time to stop a 40-year, habit, something that's been controlling my life since I was 8. I'm 48. So I was like, what the heck am I going to do? I have to fill 14 hours a day. So I just got up and I sat still. I kind of changed my posture a little. So I sat differently than I would if I was rocking. So that's the first step, is that you have to change your posturing, so to speak. You also have to change places that would trigger you to rock or stim or whatever. For me, I rock on the bed a lot, so if I do sit on the bed, it's for a short time, and it's just to talk to my fiance, and I give her my eye contact now. Whereas when I rocked, I didn't really look at her. We would talk, and she'd be doing her thing, I'd be over here rocking, and I'd be staring ahead, not looking at her. So today, I'm trying to be mindful and being grounded and present. So I turned around and I faced her while we were eating dinner. I gave her eye contact, which, she loved, because, everyone wants attention and eye contact. It's hard for people with Aspergers to give eye contact, but I'm forcing myself to really give eye contact. So basically throughout the day, I'm doing things that I don't normally do when I rock, but not to the point where I'm overwhelmed. So there was a lot of chores that needed to be done around the house. We still have Christmas decorations up and whatnot. So I started cleaning. I stacked the wood for the wood stove, and I stayed busy. We went into town, we went shopping. So I didn't really have time to rock in the beginning of the day, and it felt good. And then we did yoga. And here's the thing, is yoga is awesome because it's kind of like a moving dance, and it's very athletic. You can literally work up a sweat if you do the right type of yoga. And so I think that can calm your nerves, because people with autism, they have a lot of energy usually, and it's nervous energy. They gotta tap, they gotta whistle, pick scabs off their arm, twirl their hair. They got to do stuff to, try to, get their mind off of their problems or their stress, or they're trying to reduce stress. So I didn't do anything overwhelming. We went into town, got groceries, came back, cleaned a little bit more, vacuumed the carpet, and then sat down on the bed just for a short time and ate dinner. And then we did some breathing exercises, which is really exciting and gets you all invigorated. So right now it's about 4:30 p.m. I've made it all day so far. The scariest time is probably in the evening, because that's when my fiance and I would just sit on the bed and she would watch movies, which is her addiction, and I would rock and listen to music. And so I'm not going to listen to music tonight. I'm going to go upstairs to the shrine room, which I call it, and it's a place where I just worship God by myself in private. And I got a cross up there with some candles, and I'm going to sit still and do that. But here's the thing. If you want to stop stimming, you have to replace your stimming with activities that you enjoy. I mean, worshiping God might not be your thing. You might love taking hot baths. You know, take a hot bath. You want to try to relax and stay in a non-stressful environment. Stay away from stress as much as possible. Do things that you enjoy. If you like writing, start journaling again. Start a YouTube channel like this. Start creating things. You know, a lot of autistic people or aspergers people, they like creating. And, you know, the other thing is mapping out a daily journal. So I have a daily journal here. I don't know if that's backwards for you, but I basically, a lot of people with autism, they have to have a routine. If you get them off of a routine, they freak out, okay? And I'm the same way. I need some kind of guidance. So before I even stopped rocking yesterday, I wrote this out. And you know, you don't have to follow it exactly. You can evolve it as you evolve and change things around a little. Like today, we ate dinner before doing other things, and that was fine. We were hungry, so it's like, let's eat, and then we can do, you know, I did this video after dinner when the plan was to do content before dinner, but it doesn't matter. It's not set in stone, but you have to have a routine to basically lock into a routine. And it should be stuff that you're excited about. It could be coloring, it could be going for a walk. I love walking, and you can lose weight that way. It's relaxing. If you're, you know, by an aquatic center, you can go swimming, play racquetball. I love racquetball. You know, the aspergers in me, I love chasing that blue ball. I like seeing it hit off the different walls. It's kind of like a geometric game. It's like Tetris, you know, where you're hitting angles, and or breakaway, some kind of Atari game, pinball game. And I can follow that ball for hours on end. That's just me. So find what you like, get back into it, because, you know, our addictions are very insidious. They sneak up on us, and as soon as you know, a couple years or decades pass by, and you're like, what am I doing? I'm 48, haven't really done much with my life because I've been rocking 14 hours a day, or whatever you do. You know, I was an alcoholic. I was a cigarette smoker. I watched porn. I did anything I could to escape me and to escape stress, or, you know, I think there's something deep inside of us that we're running from. And so the other thing we're doing is meditating. And that's where you really have to sit still and just sink into that silence. And so many people are scared of sitting still with themselves. It's insane, especially with social media and your phone. You can just get distracted all day long with video games, with apps, with getting thumbs up on social media, and it's all dopamine. You know, we're dopamine junkies. And so meditation wipes the slate clean. You can start over, and you can really start getting inside of yourself and analyzing it's probably your inner child that's still hurt from the very first memory. You know, I still have an 8-year-old boy that's scared inside of me, and he needs to come out and talk about it, and he needs to feel safe. And so the other thing you can do is child work, and that's basically where you track your memories and you go back to the worst memory that you can think of, the very first one. I learned this from Teal Swan. And you go back to the very first memory that you had, trauma, whatever, and you go back as your adult self, and you walk up to the child you, okay? For me, I had many, and for the first one was my dad spanking me really hard, okay? So, because I picked up some fiberglass. So I went back as an adult, and I found me as a child crying in the back seat of the car. And I sat next to him, and I put my arm around him, and I said, "You're going to be okay. You're safe. You're safe now. I'm here. I won't ever leave you. You're safe." Okay? And then I'd go to the next memory, and I really visualize it. Close your eyes, really visualize you walking up. Feel that memory first. Like, get into that child and really feel it, and then walk up as an adult and comfort your inner child. So once you do that with one memory, that memory is clean, okay? And that will start to change your adult life. It's kind of like the butterfly effect, where you go back in the past, change some events, and then all of a sudden your adult life's different because you changed those events. It's kind of like that. It's really cool. It's kind of like going back in time, or, you know, time travel. It's really cool. The second memory was, which is really ironic, but a marching band was playing at our school. I was only like 4, so it must have been like preschool. And a band came by, and I was sitting next to a girl who I thought was cute, and I was trying to be all studly watching the band. And the band came by, and when the drum section came by, it was really loud. And snare drums, bam, 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 bam. And it was so intense and scary, and my ears were so sensitive because I was only 4. I hadn't killed my eardrums yet with my own drumming, which is the irony of it. I started bawling in front of her. I was like, "Oh my God," you know, and she's like, "What?" You know, she turned to me. She's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I felt so embarrassed, and I didn't like to see her concerned, and I was just like, "Oh," you know, and I left. I had to go to the nurse's office, and ironically, you know, 8 years later, I get a drum set, which is crazy. So maybe that's my subconscious trying to attack the fear by doing it. And so I became a rock and roll drummer, liked loud music, would just blare headphones until my ears were ringing for hours on end, listening to Slayer and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and definitely wasn't scared of loud noises after that. But the point is to replace your addictions with healthier routines. Okay, so everything on this list that I have on my new routine is healthy. I have jogging at 7 a.m. At 8:30 we do the breathing exercises. At 10 a.m. it's yoga. At noon it's meditate. And then from 1:30 to 4 it's content creation, meaning blog or videos like this. And then it's dinner. And then 6:30 it's meditation again. 8 p.m. it's shrine, where I go upstairs to my secret place with Jesus. And then 9 p.m. it's read. See, I don't read when I rock. I don't read when I drink. You know, I didn't do anything when I drank, and I don't do anything when I rock. So that is my last biggest addiction, is rocking. I was going to not listen to music today, even though it's just quiet background music. I wasn't going to listen to music today because that is part of the rocking addiction, I believe, because music has always been there with my rocking. But I turned on some music while we ate, because the worst sound imaginable to me is hearing people chew. So I was like, can I turn on some music? But I'm not going to listen to music 14 hours a day like I did with the rocking. So that has to be minimized as well. So don't be hard on yourself if you can't create a schedule and stick with it. It's going to change on you. Find what works for you. Find what's comfortable for you. And it's going to be a wild ride. I mean, like I said, I've only done 1 month. And out of the last 40 years, I stopped rocking for 1 month. And that was like 3 years ago. And I became solid in myself. I had more confidence. I just felt grounded. I just felt solid. And I actually felt like a grown-up, which is funny to say, but it's true. I really do feel like a kid still, because I sheltered myself with rocking. While other people were out getting careers and building families and dealing with big stress, I was home rocking. And the alcohol, too, was kind of like, it pickled me, it preserved me. People say that when you abuse drugs really hard, or alcohol, that it stunts your mental growth. And I drank super hard for 16 years. So 16 take away from 48, you got 32. So I feel like I'm still in my 20s sometimes, except for my body, which I'm working on now. The other thing you can do is exercise. I know I mentioned walking, but really start working out and get that excess energy out of you. Working out is phenomenal. Swimming, rocking, swimming, walking, or racquetball, even the sauna. If you can find a gym that has a sauna and just sweat it out, and then and then go out. Don't overdo it, you know. You should only do it like 10 minutes. Consult a physician. I'm not a doctor. You didn't hear it from me. But sauna is awesome, because when you come out of the sauna and you're just steaming and sweating and you sit on the bench to cool down, all of that nervous energy and anxiety and pent-up energy is gone. It feels like chamomile tea times 10. I was going to say some drug, but I don't want to negatively influence you. So that's basically it. Now, this video is for adults. You know, if you're 12 years old, I'm sorry. You know, this channel's not for you. And I'm going to talk about some adult stuff. But, you know, over the years, I've been addicted to everything. And none of it has turned out good. It just takes away from you. That's Satan's biggest lie, is that, you know, he'll say that you're going to feel really good if you do this. But it's a short-term high, whatever addiction it is, okay? I don't have to name them off. You know what they are. It's a short-term high, but a long-term guilt, shame, and it breaks you down. And sin does lead to death. If you're an addict like me, sin does lead to death. And I'm lucky that I quit alcohol, because alcohol led to many other addictions. And anyways, I'm dropping all those addictions. Over the years, I have unraveled many. I have a list of them here. I'm doing this just to keep track of my life. And you can see right here I have addictions and how many years I did those things, okay? And so I've basically knocked out, alcoholism was 16 years, drumming was 20 years. Now, a lot of people are tappers or drummers with autism. You know, stimming could be tapping, drumming, whistling, you know, and drumming was kind of, you know, I mean, it was fun, but it kind of took away from my life. I mean, I'm tired of tapping, you know? I mean, there's a point where you just want to stop whistling or tapping. You're like, stop, you know, you hear a song in your head and it stays in your head all day and you're like, get out of my freaking head. So drumming is kind of an addiction. Cigarettes, that was a 20-year addiction. I quit that. So with any addiction that you quit, you're going to have to find a replacement. All right, I keep saying that. When I quit cigarettes, I was like, what the heck am I going to do? I didn't even smoke that many. It was like 10 cigarettes a day. People smoke packs a day. I don't even know how they quit. So I usually smoked 10 a day, usually after 5 p.m. I felt gross if I smoked in the morning. So I replaced the cigarettes with peanut M&Ms and tea. And I did that for like a year. And then I was like, all right, I'm done with sugar. And so I quit the M&Ms. So I'm not saying replace one addiction with the other, but I am saying once in a while, do what you got to do to get off of the big addiction, you know? But, you know, if you want to relax, and let's say a cigarette relaxes you, change it to chamomile tea and a hot bath or a sauna, and go for a jog, and then you do all those things. You go for a jog and then take a hot bath and then drink some chamomile. You are going to feel relaxed, okay? So I hope this helps. This is day 1. I'm going to keep documenting my life for the next year, every day, even if it's kind of boring, because I want to see how I improve without rocking. That's my #1 habit, stimming habit, that I'm getting rid of. 40 years of rocking back and forth like this. I showed you in another video, those pads are literally from rocking on the floor, from putting my knuckles down on the floor and rocking. That's what these pads are. I mean, look how big they are. So it's serious, guys. Stimming is frickin' serious. It could be life or death. And I have spent a lot of my life, in fact 45,000 hours I calculated, that I've rocked. I know it's more than that. That's just on a three-hour average for 40 years is 43,800 hours. I know, I mean, like I said, last 6 years it's been 14 hours a day, and probably 6 before that. So anyways, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for following this journey. Leave a comment if you're a stimmer. If you are a rocker, I'd love to meet you guys. This channel isn't going anywhere, so hit that subscribe button and tell me what you do as a stimmer. If you're a rocker like me, do you have knuckles like this? Does your back hurt? What do you think about when you rock? You know, when did you start rocking? Leave a comment and we'll talk to you soon.